Be seen as an alpha, he says. We can idolize Cesar Millan all we want, and I've given my perspective on Caesar from what was efficient, why he was ahead of his time, but nothing cleans up the fact that he sensationalized this idea that you have to be the alpha with your dog, and obviously there's a lot of fallout with that. Not necessarily Caesar's intention, but when people took that message and ran with it, it shaped different ways based on the person, based on their empathy towards their dog, based on what they decided to do with their dog. Caesar going hands-on and alpha rolling dogs and all that crazy shit. When people went to go try to do that with their dog, he put a lot of people in jeopardy when they tried to be Cesar Millan. And to be honest with you, not to take away any credit from Cesar Millan, but there's only one Cesar Millan. And I think that still remains to this day. Like, Caesar had the ability to communicate in the way that dogs communicate to one another. What I just mentioned to you about fixation and tension, if you think about those postures that Caesar took over dogs, he was mimicking the postures that dogs give one another, creating tension to create avoidance, to get a dog to make different choices or to ward them off from a particular situation, right? And then he would escalate. So instead of biting the dog, he would use his hands like like teeth, and he would correct a dog with his hands and make a sound. And that would be the same level of intensity in the same transaction that a dog would do when they would correct one another and nip one another. And then from there, he would alpha roll and pin a dog, and that would be synonymous to a dog pinning a dog and hovering over a dog to control it. He is one of the only trainers to communicate to dogs in the exact same vein and mannerisms that dogs did, dog to dog. And he used more visual communication because he did that. And because dogs are nonverbal and dogs are more visually inclined in terms of sensory modality, he used a more compelling sensory when he went to communicate to them. And I give Caesar credit where it's due, but the problem is that it made television, and then everybody took that philosophy and ran with it and then tried to be Cesar Millan. So terrible, did a hell of a lot more damage than it could ever do in terms of good. And that's just the fact of the matter. And there are a lot of trainers out there, as I might snip this from my social media, and I might have a trainer jump in my comment section. Let me go ahead and just respond to the comments. I'm so happy that you appreciate Caesar, and I'm so happy that you were 12 years old and you wanted to be a dog trainer by watching him on fucking television. I really am. But the dominance bullshit and the alpha rolling and the poking and it put us so far back that 30 fucking years later, I'm doing a webinar with a Cane Corso that's attacked its mom twice, and I'm having to clean up dominance theory. That's how far back you fucking set us 30 years later. Okay? So like and follow.